Good afternoon, my friends. We are just going to take care of a few little housekeeping things here while we get everything all set to go. So I appreciate your patience. One moment before we enjoy a little bit of music.
And on there, my phone, just double check it.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, let's see if we see. Oh, there it is. Sea Shanty Saturday. Copy the link. This is my first time doing this. Sharing this out to different pages. Okay. Share. Alright, we want to share in an event. Sea Shanty Saturday streaming concert. Post. Okay, that was successfully shared.
Yep.
And then I gotta figure out how to share it on my personal page.
I can do that.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
No problem.
Okay, in that case, I think we are all set. And oh yeah, I need to get in there so I can see how everybody's doing and what you all are thinking. And then we'll be ready to go. Click to expand. Okay, and I don't want to hear myself at all. Not even a little bit. Oh, how do I get the comments to? All right, yeah, there. Okay, it's there. I just have to expand the whole thing. This is so fun that every single live video you just get like technical conjiggering at the beginning. All right, there we go. We already have a heart. Beautiful. Well,
I think it's Haley.
Yes.
I'm just gonna let you do your thing. I gotta work. So.
Yeah. Yes.
Just let me know if you need anything. Just shout.
I will do. Yes, big thanks to my executive producer who got me rolling with this one. She has important executive producer things to do.
I'll keep it on so I can basically see if it cuts out or anything, but
Okay.
it should tell you on there too.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, love you. Have fun.
You too. You see, I'm frozen here, so I hope everything's frozen. See, this is my first time seeing myself.
Yeah, the laptop video is not real reliable, but the
okay,
chat
good.
is.
But the chat is good. And if I could just turn off the video, I would. But I don't think there's any way to be in the chat without having the video on. Which, you know, Facebook could get on that, I think.
Yeah, but as long as it still says live in the corner, it's still good.
Okay, great. All right, now we got all that set up and ready to go. Good afternoon, my friends. Welcome to yet another streaming concert with me, myself, and I, your host, Matthew O'Donnell, sharing some music with you all. So glad to be here with you on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. And today is Sea Shanty Saturday. We are going deep into the repertoire of traditional maritime music. We'll be enjoying different kinds of music, a lot of the traditional sea songs, as well as some more modern sea songs and different songs about the maritime sailing tradition. And if you have any requests that are in the sort of maritime theme, any sea shanties you want to hear, please let me know. I know that a certain friend of mine named Haley is going to want to hear a particular song, and I hope she's here for the long haul because I'm planning to end the show with it. Just so you know, getting that out of the way. But Haley, let me know if you need to leave before that, and we'll move it up in the queue just in case. All right, so let's just dig into this. Let's get started with some sea songs. So I am going to talk a little bit about here. Let me just get this set up here so I'm not just like not looking at you while I do this. I feel like I'm just staring off into space, but I want to make sure I'm talking to you, and when I'm looking over here, I'm looking at the screen to know what y'all are up to, what y'all are doing and saying. All right, well, we're going to start off our time together with a traditional sea shanty called Away Rio. This is a shanty that comes from the tradition of a great trade of sailing to Brazil through the Rio Grande in the 18th century when gold was found there, and a lot of people were sailing back and forth. A lot of equipment and supplies and things were being brought back and forth to Brazil during that little bit of a gold rush. And this is a great example of how sea shanties can, even though many of them are work songs, they were made to be sung while sailors were working, but they also had a little bit of a personality and a commemorative nature. This song would almost always be sung for the work to heave the anchor, to set sail at the beginning of a voyage, which is why I thought it'd be a nice place to start. So the two lines that get repeated over and over and over again in this little shanty, first is "Away Rio," and the second is "When we're bound for the Rio Grande." I promise I'll get the hang of this. Alright, there we go. Here's "Away Rio." I'll sing you a song of the fish of the sea. Away, Rio. I'll sing you a song of the fish of the sea, and we're bound for the Rio Grande. Then away, love, away. Away, Rio. So fare thee well, my pretty young gal, and we're bound for the Rio Grande. And goodbye to Sally and goodbye to Sue. Away, Rio. And ye who are listening, goodbye to you too. We are bound for the Rio Grande. Then away, love, away. Away, Rio. So fare thee well, my pretty young gal. We are bound for the Rio Grande. So man a good capstan and run it around. Away, Rio. We'll haul up the anchor to this jolly sound, and we're bound for the Rio Grande. Then away, love, away. Away, Rio. So fare thee well, my pretty young gal. We are bound for the Rio Grande. Our ship she went sailing all over the bar. Away, Rio. We pointed her nose to the southern star, and we're bound for the Rio Grande. And away, love, away. Away, Rio. So fare thee well, my pretty young girl. We are bound for the Rio Grande. The anchors are hauled and the sails they are set. Away, Rio. Oh, the lassies we're leaving we'll never forget, and we're bound for the Rio Grande. Then away, love, away. Away, Rio. So fare thee well, my pretty young girl. We are bound for the Rio Grande. So fare thee well, my pretty young gal. We are bound for the Rio Grande. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. I hope you all enjoy sea shanties as much as I do. I'm absolutely thrilled to share some of my favorites with you all today. Make one quick adjustment here. Bear with me. It's going to turn into radio instead of video for just a minute here. There we go. This will do as a little bit of a substitute at the moment. Where's it gone now? I hear it somewhere in there. Aha! Now we're looking. That'll do nicely. Okay, next up we'll do another traditional sea shanty. This is a... I have a whole bunch of notes here. I wrote down a whole bunch of things so I sound like I'm very smart and I know all about sea shanties when I actually don't. This song is a particular kind of shanty that was sung for a particular kind of work. There's lots of different categories of shanties we'll be talking about as we sing them through the course of our time together today. This is a short haul shanty, or a tack and sheet shanty, which was done for really, really short bursts of work. And the most common type of short burst of work was adjusting, as the name suggests, the tacks and sheets, which were little connections to the much larger sails that would make very, very small adjustments to the direction of the sails to catch the wind right. And this particular one is one of the most popular and famous sea shanties. It's traveled very, very far in different parts of the world. And there are, as with many sea shanties, there are hundreds and hundreds of verses. I'm just going to sing a few of the ones that I have picked up and liked the most and known well. This is called Haul Away Joe. And the line gets repeated over and over and over again in this song is, "Way, haul away, we'll haul away Joe." His head removed, and it spoiled his constitution. Way all away, we'll haul away Joe. Way all away, the good ship is a-rolling. To me, way all away, we'll haul away Joe. St. Patrick was a bonny lad who came to Dublin city. To me, way haul away, we'll haul away Joe. He drove all of the snakes abroad and drank up all the whiskey. To me, way haul away, we'll haul away Joe. Way haul away, we're bound for better weather. To me, way haul away, we'll haul away Joe. Way haul away, that good ship is a-rolling. To me, way haul away, we'll haul away Joe. Once I met an English girl, and she was awful lazy. To me, way haul away, we'll haul away Joe. thank you very much.
Did you see Julie from Westminster Cannery?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I'm so glad you're here. I'm missing all of you as well. Missing lots of folks that I get to sing with in person right about now, but I'm so glad we have the opportunity to be together here today and enjoy a little music with one another. I'm going to play a little instrumental tune for you now. This is a tune that's found both in the tradition of Irish dance music and as well as English country dance music. It's a lovely little nautical romp called The Three Sea Captains. Thank you so much. Thank you, my friends. Glad to be enjoying this time with you all. Thanks for joining me. Once again, my name is Matthew O'Donnell, sharing a little music. Lots of sea songs, maritime music, and sea shanties here on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. If you're enjoying yourselves and want to show a little appreciation, you can drop drop some monetary patronage into my digital tip jar on Venmo and Cashapp, matthewomusic. You can find me at PayPal if you go to paypal.me/matthewomusic. And if you want to support me regularly and continue to be an ongoing patron of the arts, you can visit patreon.com or download the Patreon app and search for Matthew O'Donnell Music. And you can find me there and become a regular patron, donate every month to all the musical projects that I am undergoing, all the music that I share with you. And so a shout out to my Patreon patrons, and shout out to everyone who helps support me and my music. I couldn't be doing all this without you, so thank you so very much. So we're going to do another shanty. I need to find a better way to switch between all this here, because this is taking far too long. Let's see. Maybe I can... Now, so you're going to get to see me fiddle with technology even more. Let's see if I can do these side by side so I can look at what all y'all are saying while I can also look at my notes. If we can pull this off, friends... Oh, it's going to be quite a day. I think we can do this. I think we've managed it. Oh, right. There. Hopefully that'll cut down on the awkward downtime here. Gotta scroll down to the end, make sure I'm seeing how y'all are doing. All right. There we go. Oh, my engineer, my executive producer is engaged in other executive producer tasks in the other room, the other studio over there. But she is coming out periodically to check on everything and make sure everything's on the up and up and going well. And she's just a holler away if I need her. All right, I'm going to sing a song now that's another one of the most popular sea shanties. This is a song that's a type of shanty called a stamp and go shanty. It's made for work where ropes or lines or different things that need to be moved require sort of a line of sailors walking in place, usually with holding a line. And you can feel that in the rhythm of the song, that you can imagine just sort of trudging along, carrying a heavy load while you sing this. And this song shows how sea shanties sample different kinds of music and different influences from different places in the world. Lots of songs were, as sea shanties became incredibly common and ubiquitous in the 19th century, a lot of the earlier folk music from different places in the world, the 18th and 17th centuries, would be taken and revised and set to the work of a sailing ship. And so a lot of things that were previously old folk songs would become sea shanties, and this is an example of that. The original song is not known, but this is almost certainly came out of traditions of black work songs in America. That was then picked up by American sailors and taken all over the world, and this became a shanty that was sung quite often. It's called "Roll the Old Chariot Along." It's also called "The Drop of Nelson's Blood." And Nelson's blood. Forgive me for going on here, but this is a wonderful story I have to share now. Nelson's blood is a name for the rum that was regularly drunk aboard the sailing ships. I was fascinated to learn this recently, that the standard practice of doling out rum twice a day on board British Navy ships carried throughout the history of the British Navy until 1970. 1970. So I would love to talk to the folks who were sailing around in the British Navy not too long ago and were getting sort of 2 rations of rum every single day. And the reason the rum is referred to as Nelson's blood goes back to a wonderful story about the famed Admiral Nelson, who passed away while they were out on a voyage on his ship. And in order to preserve his body, because he was such an important figure, they wanted to preserve his body to get it back to England. So they filled they filled a casket with rum or brandy. It's not entirely sure which, and used that to preserve his body. But when the ship returned to London, the story goes that the casket was opened and they found a pickled body of Admiral Nelson, but no rum or brandy, and a small hole that had been drilled in the bottom. So the sailors had secreted away all of the rum and brandy being used to preserve Nelson's body. And ever since then, rum drunk aboard British ships was referred to as Nelson's blood. So here's Roll the Old Chariot Along. Nelson's blood wouldn't do us any harm. A drop of Nelson's blood wouldn't do us any harm. A drop of Nelson's blood wouldn't do us any harm. And we'll all hang out behind. Oh, roll-the-o, chariot along, roll-the-o, chariot along, roll-the-o, chariot along, and we'll all hang out behind. Oh, a big fat us any harm, a big fat cook wouldn't do us any harm, a big fat cook wouldn't do us any harm, and we'll all heave out behind. Oh, roll the old chariot along, roll the old chariot along, we'll roll the old chariot along, and we'll all heave out behind. Oh, a pot of Irish stew wouldn't do us any harm. A pot of Irish stew wouldn't do us any harm. A pot of Irish stew wouldn't do us any harm. We'll all heave out behind. We'll roll the old chariot along, roll the old chariot along, roll the old chariot along, and we'll all heave out behind. A night on the shore wouldn't do us any harm. A night upon the shore wouldn't do us any harm. A night upon the shore wouldn't do us any harm. And we'll all heave out behind. Oh, we'll roll the old chariot along, roll the old chariot along, roll the old chariot along, and we'll all heave out behind. Oh, a pint of strong beer wouldn't do us any harm. Yes, a pint of strong beer wouldn't do us any harm. A pint of strong beer wouldn't do us any harm. We'll all heave out behind. We'll roll the old chariot along, roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along, and we'll all heave out behind. And a drop of Nelson's blood wouldn't do us any harm. A drop of Nelson's blood wouldn't do us any harm. A drop of Nelson's blood wouldn't do us any harm. We'll all heave out behind. We'll roll the old chariot along, roll the old chariot along, roll the old chariot along, and we'll all heave out behind. We'll roll the old chariot along, roll the old chariot along, roll the old chariot along, and we'll all heave out behind. And we'll all heave out behind. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing the time with me. It's a pleasure to be enjoying it with you. Sea Shanty Saturday. If you have any sea shanties or maritime songs, sailing songs that you'd like to hear, you think I might know, please let me know. I'd love to play them for you. It's funny that just as different folk traditions have sort of a nuance of understanding where songs come from, and there's lots of songs of uncertain origin. You'll find that there are certain songs that are sung to many different tunes. There'll be many variations, and eventually they'll change so much that they'll become sort of their own song in their own right, and you can have entire family trees of songs. Well, that's even more complicated when it comes to sea shanties, because not only are these sort of tangents and trees of songs being created, but they're being created and exported all over the world as people sail to different ports and in different places, share the songs that they're singing with other sailors who are sailing in other places. And while tracing the origins of music of a particular place is hard enough, it's almost impossible to trace the exact origins of a lot of sea songs. And that's why you get an anomaly like this song, which was never published in its own right. There was many people compiling and publishing collections of sea songs, especially starting in the late 1800s. But this song was never properly published, and the earliest versions of it as a recorded song start in the 1940s, but really came to prominence only in the 60s and 70s. But it comes in so many different forms, and it is a part of so many different people's songbooks. It clearly is a proper sea shanty with a long history, even though there isn't any sort of authoritative record of it. And I should clarify here, this is a point to be differentiating terms. This probably was not a proper sea shanty. A sea shanty refers to a song that was used in the practice of work aboard a sailing vessel. And many songs we know of as sea shanties, of course, you can trace back to the sort of work that they were supposed to be sung to. But songs like this, with the structure that they have, they were more likely to be what would be called a forecastle song. Forecastle is short for forecastle, referring to the decks where sailors would sleep and rest and gather and socialize with one another. And forecastle songs were songs that didn't follow the same kind of structure of a sea shanty, but they're songs that sailors would just sing to one another to pass the time and enjoy time that they got to spend when they weren't at work. And so this was most likely a forecastle song, but yet it talks about sailing work, which is a funny little quirk there. This song is called "Haul, Boys, Haul." When I was a schoolboy, I lived at Tomatees. Now I am a trolling man who plows the wintry seas. I always loved seafaring life, 'twas all right till I found 'twas a damn bit worse than slavery when we got off the ground. And it was haul, boys, haul, haul, boys, haul, heave away the capstan, lads, let's get up the troll. When the winds are blowing, all the ships are gently rolling. My Emma, won't you be true to me? My Emma, won't you be true to me? Every single winter, as regular as a clock, it's up we on the wester, like wise Ruskin Rock. And then we go to the capstan, lads, then we heave away. This song you'll hear in the middle of the night as well as in the day. And it was haul, boys, haul, haul, boys, haul, heave away the capstan, lads, let's get up the troll. When the winds are blowing, all the ships are gently rolling. My Emma, won't you be true to me? My Emma, won't you be true to me? When the fish are up on deck, piling to our knees, we slip and slide and wonder why we ever went to sea. But when on shore we sell the catch, that's easier to bear, for it's beer all night in the ladies' arms when we get paid our share. And it was haul, boys, haul, haul, boys, haul, heave away the yours, as you will quickly find. Put on your oilskin jacket, lads, and leave the girls behind. It was haul, boys, haul, haul, boys, haul. Heave away the capstan, lads, let's get up the troll. When the winds are blowing, all the ships are gently rolling. My Emma, won't you be true to me? My Emma, won't you be true to me? And when the sailing's over, up par the tiller goes, straightway into Yarmouth with a big jib on the nose. When we reach the pier head, the pretty girls will say, here comes our dear seafaring lads who have been so long away. And it was haul, boys, haul, haul, boys, haul. Heave away the capstan, lads, let's get up the troll. When the winds are blowing, all the ships are gently rolling. My Emma, won't you be true to me? My Emma, won't you be true to me? My Emma, won't you be true to me? Oh, thank you so much for enjoying the time with me today. Hope you're having as much fun as I am sharing a few sea songs, a few sea shanties today. Scroll down, see what we got. Oh, it's about time to do a whaling song, I think. We'll do a few whaling songs before our time is out today. But this is a ballad. You'll find a lot of this music really, whether or not it was originally composed or the earliest seeds of it come from this time, you'll find a lot of it is rooted in the time period of the sort of surrounding the mid-1800s, 1830 to 1870 is when there was an extraordinary amount of maritime traffic, and the days of the clipper ships sailing up and down and across the Atlantic, and it was a heyday for whaling as well. That's when this song is first recorded. Earliest versions around 1850. This song about whaling is called "Farewell to Tarwacki." Farewell to Tarwacki, had you Mormont Hill, to the fair land of Grimmins, I bid you adieu, for I'm bound out for Greenland, get ready to sail, in the hopes to find riches, in hunting the whale. Our ship, she's well rigged, and she's ready to sail, and the crew is all anxious for to follow the whale, where the icebergs do float, and the stormy winds blow, and the land and the ocean are covered in snow. For the cold ice of Greenland, so barren and bare, no seed time nor harvest is ever known there. But the birds here sing sweetly over mountain and dale. But there's never a birdie to sing to the whale. Farewell to my loved ones, from you I must part, and the bonny dear lassie, the first one my heart, but the cold ice of Greenland could not my heart chill, and the longer my absence, more loving you would feel. So farewell to Tar Wotty, and you Mormon Hill, to the fair land of Britain I bid you adieu, for I'm bound out for Greenland, get ready to sail, in the hopes to find riches in hunting the whale. Thank you very much. Oh goodness, I'm gonna have to get out of this and pull it up in a different place here. Thank you for your patience as we deal with technical difficulties. I had to exit here just for a moment, just to see what y'all are saying. Alright, let's go back to... There's the event. Oh, this is very fun. Let's see. No, I'm just glad to share your company today. I'm glad there are, last I glanced, I think 21 people who enjoy listening to sea shanties as well as I do. And that brings me great joy.
You doing good?
Yeah. Does it seem like I'm still going and people can still see me?
Yeah, it looks great.
Okay, great. That's good. Let's find...
Do you need me to look at that or anything?
Oh, I'm just... Yeah, if you could just get back into the... the room.
Oh, yeah.
So I can see what all these lovely people are saying and thinking, and
We'll say that we all approve of sea shanties.
that's good. Pro sea shanties is good.
Pro sea shanty group. And
I must be missing some chats though, I think.
that they're enjoying the like the context and extra and like information about the...
Oh, good. I'm glad. I was very concerned that I was just going to be like, hey, you remember how great, like, boring lectures are? You know, remember how great...
Oh, and
like,
curiosity about your instruments.
school? Oh, curiosity about the instruments. Let's see.
There you go. So if you just leave this heat, like, open like this, and you can just...
Yes, perfect.
Sorry, I just
Okay.
on my butt.
Great, there we go. All right, the instrument I have here is called an Irish bouzouki. The regular viewers of my live streams could probably memorize at this point my description of the bouzouki. That it's an instrument. It was originally a Greek instrument. Was used quite frequently in traditional Greek music. It was brought to Ireland by a few different musicians independently in the 1960s, most notably Johnny Moynihan of Sweeney's Men, later of Planxty, and briefly in the group Dedanan. And he sort of introduced the idea of the bouzouki as an Irish instrument and spread it to a lot of other musicians and inspired a lot of people to play. And sort of independently, Alec Finn, also who is a longtime member of Dadanan, played the bouzouki. He played a Greek style bouzouki, a 3-string called the tricordo bouzouki, for his entire career. But this is the Irish bouzouki is just a Greek bouzouki that is built without the bowl back and without the sort of intricate designs that are traditional on a Greek bouzouki, and just built more like a mandolin. And the tuning is also different. The traditional tuning of Greek bouzouki is C, F, A, D. The tuning of an Irish-style bouzouki would be G, D, A, D. Octave mandolins, which is an octave below a traditional mandolin. Those are very similar instruments, are tuned G, D, A, E, just like a mandolin, but an octave below. But G, D, A, D, I always describe it as like a combination between a mandolin and a dulcimer, as you got the highest three courses ringing sort of an open fifth chord here, and with a low course on the G string, you can sort of complete the chord with a little bass note. Lends itself very, very nicely to playing sort of simple melodies over top of chord progressions. Okay, we're singing some songs. Let's see what we can sing next. Let's get back to something traditional now. Well, that was traditional. Well, let's get back to a proper shanty. Proper shanty is in order. Okay, let's do this. I've never sung this one before, but I'm going to make my best attempt here. It's entirely possible I will forget some lyrics. Let's see here. Just want to give a quick glance at them, make sure I can remember at least most of them. And we got Fiddle here. So this is a song called Eliza Lee. Eliza Lee is a Capstan Shanty. Capstan Shanties or cutlass shanties are some of the most common types of sea shanties. Most of the ones that you'll hear, a good majority of the popular sea shanties are Capstan Shanties. And the capstan is sort of a large, almost like a great big spool for for raveling and unraveling usually different ropes and lines to hold the tension of sails. And so the idea behind a capstan shanty is that this is really a song that is made to have a very steady rhythm and sung in a big way to coordinate the work on a constant rhythm. A lot of other shanties, things like long haul and halyard shanties, are sort of made. They're made to coordinate, but they have a breath in them. It's like the idea would you have a group of people pulling a line, and then they can sort of take a breath as they're singing, and then pull again. And the rhythm wasn't so important. But when you're working on turning the halyard, turning the capstan, the movement had to be steady as everybody was working together. So this is really a song that was using rhythm to coordinate movement. So here's Eliza Lee. As I said, this is my debut of it, so I'm hoping I remember all the words to it. moonshine. Clear away the track and let the blue jine. Clear away the track and let the moonshine run. Hey, rig-a-jig and a jumping dog. Ho, hey, ho, are you most done with noisily upon my knee? Clear away the track and let the moonshine run. To me, hey, rig-a-jig and a jumping dog. Ho, hey, ho, are you most done with noisily upon my knee? Clear away the clap and let the moonshine run. Thank you. Thank you so much. I can hear you all clapping over internet land, and I hope that you are enjoying this time as much as I am. If you're just absolutely loving these sea shanties, can't get enough of them, well, first of all, congratulations on being a fantastic human being with excellent taste in music. Second of all, I hope that you'll show a little appreciation if you have the ability to do so in my digital tip jar. You can find me on Venmo and Cashapp, matthewomusic, and on PayPal, paypal.me/matthewomusic. And you can also become a regular supporter of my work and my music by going to Patreon. You can download the Patreon app and search for Matthew O'Donnell Music, or go to patreon.com/MatthewO'Donnell. You can find me there and contribute every month to the work that I do. Thank you to Patreon patrons who are here today enjoying some of the music. I know that there's at least one here, so thank you for being a supporter. Appreciate it. And if you have any requests, any sea shanties, maritime songs you would like to hear, I'd be delighted to sing them for you. I'm going to sing you a song that is a variant of one of the most famous and popular sea shanties, a song called Santiana. And the funny thing about Santiana is that there are so many versions of the song, and it attests to the power of the sea shanty, because relative to a lot of traditional music, Santiana is not a very old song. I mean, it is based off of the events of the battle that took place in 1850 between General Santa Anna and, at the time, General Zachary Taylor, who would later go on to be President of the United States. And that was sort of the beginning of the idea of Santiana. And yet, there are an extraordinary number of different versions of this song. Different melodies, different verses, completely different, using some of the same turns of phrase, but using different, just lots of different variants. And that attests to how quickly things can vary and change when you're looking at music in the maritime tradition. How sailing from one port to another, to another, to another can create this extraordinary game of telephone that gives this wide variance of the music. And because a lot of these songs would be used to sing, that they would be used to sing over and over and over again. Not only would hundreds of verses be written in different places, but lots of times they just substitute in a different name, which is a pretty common practice for singing different shanties, and eventually you get versions of the story that don't actually make any historical sense, but they're still wonderful songs all the same. This is an example of that, because as I mentioned, based off of that battle and talking about Santa Anna and General Zachary Taylor, this song is called General Taylor, a version that replaces Santiana with Zachary Taylor, the other commanding officer of the battle. And it talks about basically laying this general to rest, laying his body. The line that gets repeated over and over again is, carry him to his burying ground. But as anyone who knows history will know well, no one had to carry General Zachary Taylor to his burying ground, because he went on to be President of the United States. And yet, still the version persists of, and is a wonderful little sea shanty in its own right. So I'll sing now for you this wonderful little shanty, General Taylor. thank you all so much. Pleasure to be sharing the music with you all today. I hope you're having as much fun as I am sharing some sea shanties today. Oh, I see we got some requests here. We got a request for Old Maui. Wonderful, wonderful shanty. This is a... Oh, wait, let me make sure I have it here. Yeah, so this is yet another shanty first documented in the mid-1800s. And the significance of Old Maui in this song, of course, refers to the island in Hawaii. And it was an important sort of landmark for sailing because it was the place where many whaling ships sailing up into the Arctic, that was sort of their final loading port to head out to sea for whaling, and then to come back. It's where they would return. And so naturally, being in the Arctic for weeks or months on end, sailors would look forward a whole lot to returning to Hawaii. And that's what this song is about, sort of the end of a whaling voyage and heading back to Old Maui. Here's Old Maui. It's a damn tough life, full of toil and strife, we whalemen undergo. And we don't give a damn when the whaling's done, how hard the gales did blow. For we're homeward bound from the Arctic round, with a good ship taut and free. And we won't give a damn when we drink our rum with the girls of Old Maui. Rolling down to Old Maui, me boys, rolling down to Old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic ground, rolling down to Old Maui. Once more we sail with a northerly gale through the ice and wind and rain. Them coconut fronds, them tropical lands, we soon shall see again. 6 hellish months we passed away on the cold Kamchatka Sea. But now we're bound for the Arctic ground, rolling down to Old Maui. Rolling down to Old Maui, me boys, rolling down to Old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic ground, rolling down to Old Maui. Once more we sail with a northerly gale towards our island home. Our race is run, our whaling done, and we ain't got far to roam. Our stance and bones is carried away, what care we for that sound? A living gale is after us, thank God we're homeward bound. Rolling down to Old Maui, me boys, rolling down to Old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic ground, rolling down to Old Maui. Now we're bound from the Arctic ground, the ice is far astern. Them tropical glades, them native maids are waiting our return. Even now their big blue eyes look out, hoping some fine day to see our baggy sails running for the gale, rolling down to Old Maui. Rolling down to Old Maui, me boys, rolling down to Old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic ground, rolling down to Old Maui. Rolling down to Old Maui, me boys, rolling down to Old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic almost feel like from afar I can hear your praise. At least one of you. Who wants to know? Dale. Oh, Dale wants to know where you can get a bazooki. Well, they are not easy to find in person, although I guess not many things are easy to find in person at the moment. Two places I know within the distance of the area I am currently in. I live in Charlottesville, Virginia. Two stores I'll shamelessly plug that I happen to know carry this exact model of bazooki, which I will espouse to the bitter end. Gold Tone BZ500 bazooki. I know you can purchase one of these at Picker's Supply in downtown Fredericksburg, Virginia, as well as I believe they have them in stock at the House of Musical Traditions in Tacoma Park, Maryland, just outside of D.C. They're sort of a rarity to find in a physical store, but you can find them and buy them online quite well. And I give the shameless plug that I bought this one at the Gold Tone factory in Titusville, Florida. And if you go to the Gold Tone factory, if you're passing through the Space Coast of Florida, I highly recommend, no matter what sort of music you play, no matter what sort of instrument you enjoy playing, I hope that you stop in and visit the Gold Tone factory, because they have an extraordinary showroom, beautiful instruments, and just the stuff that Gold Tone creates is just absolutely exemplary and just very creative and wonderful instruments. I perform regularly. Basically, all of the strummed instruments I perform regularly, with the exception of my Taylor guitar, are Gold Tone instruments. I have the BZ500, as well as Gold Tone mandola, two Gold Tone tenor banjos, and the Gold Tone resonator tenor guitar. So I'm quite fond of their brand. I will stand them until I die. Oh yes, Lark in the Morning in California, indeed, in Berkeley, they would certainly, they're one of the stores that, if you ask me off the top of my head where on earth where you find a bazooki, that is one of them. I just didn't think of them because they're not near myself. So, oh yes, I just picked this up. I was just about to sing a song on it, wasn't I? Well, I do hope you're enjoying yourselves. Once again, if you have any requests, any sea songs you would like to hear, please let me know. I appreciate the last request. It is quite a bear to tune, though, so keep that in mind with your purchasing. Get a little extra time to get it all playing quite right. This next song is a little bit older than a lot of the other songs we've been singing. There's versions of this from the early 1700s, early 18th century. And you can usually, even if you don't have an authoritative source for a song, you can usually get an idea for how old it is based on how many different versions of the song you can find. And this song has a lot of different versions. They're almost all, referred to as Maid of Amsterdam or a Roven. And but the story that is told takes many different turns. There's a version I'm about to sing for you. There's another version. They all start with a sailor meeting a woman in Amsterdam. Some of them end with, after this man has charmed the woman, a rough and tumble Dutchman comes up and gives him a good beating for making an advance toward the man's wife. There's yet another version where the man and the woman pledge their commitment to each other, but after sailing away and returning to Amsterdam, she finds him in the arms of a soldier. And then you have this next version, which I sing that I'll just let the story unfold for you. This song's called Maid of Amsterdam, or Eroven. In Amsterdam there lived a maid, mark well what I do say. In Amsterdam there lived a maid, and she was mistress of her trade. I'll go no more a-roving with you, fair maid. A-roving, since roving's been my ruin. I'll go no more a-roving with you, fair maid. Let's key a little bit here. There you go. I asked her if she'd take a walk, like well what I do say. I asked her if she'd take a walk, she said, young man, I'd rather talk. I go no more a-roving with you, fair maid. A-roving, since roving's been my ruin. I'll go no more a-roving with you, fair maid. One night I crept from my abode, I'll tell what I do say. One night I crept up my abode and met this girl down at the road. I'll go no more a-roving with you, fair maid. A-roving, since roving's been my ruin. I'll go no more a-roving with you, fair maid. I met with her just after dark, mark well what I do say. I met with her just after dark and took her to my favorite park. Go no more a-roving with you, fair maid. A-roving, since roving's been my ruin. I'll go no more a-roving with you, fair maid. I placed my hand around her waist, mark well what I do say. I placed her hand around, I placed my hand around her waist. She says, young man, you're in great haste. I'll go no more a-roving with you, fair maid. A-roving, since roving's been my ruin. I'll go no more a-roving with you, fair maid. I placed my hand upon her knee, mark well what I do say. I placed my hand upon her knee, she says, young man, you're rather free. I'm going no more a-roving with you, fair maid. A-roving, since roving's been my ruin. I'm going no more a-roving with you, fair maid. I kissed her once, I kissed her twice, mark well what I do say. I kissed her once, I kissed her twice, she says, young man, that's rather nice. I'll go no more a-roving with you, fair maid. A-roving, since roving's been my ruin. I'll go no more a-roving with you, fair maid. I said farewell now with a kiss. Ah, well, what I do say. We said farewell with a kiss, but when on board my purse I missed. I'll go no more a-roving with you, fair maid. A-roving, since roving's been my ruin. I'll go no more a-roving with you, fair maid. A-roving, since roving's been my ruin. Go no more a-roving with you, fair maid. I'll go no more a-roving with you, fair maid. Thank you all so much. Thank you, my friends. Thank you. I'm so glad to share it with you all. Thank you for being here. It's a real pleasure to enjoy the time with you all. If you are enjoying yourselves in our little get-together here, a little shanty sing we're getting to enjoy over the internet, then I hope you will, if you have the ability to do so, drop a little appreciation in my digital tip jar. You can find me on Venmo and Cashapp at matthewomusic. You can also find me on PayPal, paypal.me/matthewomusic, and you can become a regular supporter of the music I make, of the things I do, like these live streams, of videos I'm starting to put out on my profile and in various places, and as well as the music I make every day for folks in person. I do lots of street performing and performing in different places, trying to be sort of a community resource of music where I live here in Charlottesville, Virginia. So if you'd like to continually support what I do, you can become a patron on Patreon. You can download the Patreon app and go to Matthew O'Donnell Music. You can become a monthly patron there, or go to patreon.com/Matthew O'Donnell and continue to support the work that I do. And please do let me know if there are any songs you'd love to hear, any sea songs we haven't sung yet. I'd love to field a few requests if you are so inclined. All right, so here's another song that became popular aboard sea voyages, but really most of its origins seem to be not as a song born out of sailors. It seems to be more of a story song, a folk song, a sort of a tale sung by people on land originally, but eventually it did become popular with sailors and sort of became a forecastle song. It's a wonderful wonderful song. I think if I can check my notes to be sure, I think the first versions of this are found recorded in 1795. So it's a good and old one. This song is called "The Coast of High Barbary." For all of you who've been waiting for some pirate action, here's your opportunity for a little pirate pirate appearance in this song, "Coast of High Barbary." There were two lofty ships from jolly England came, blow high, blow low, and so sailed we. One was the Prince of Luther and the other Prince of Wales, cruising down along the coast of High Barbary. sunk 'em in the sea, cruising down along the coast of High Barbary. There were two lofty ships from jolly England came, no high, no low, and so we sailed we. One was the Prince of Luther and the other Prince of Wales, cruising down along the coast of High Barbary. Thank you all very much. I'm going to sing you a more modern song. Some people refer to this as a modern sea shanty because while it has some hallmarks of more modern music and rhythmic turns, it very much stays true to a lot of sea shanty traditions. And this song often gets a lot of credit for being very impeccably researched, especially for a song, written in the 1970s at a time when you couldn't just pop whatever sailing term you wanted to understand into Google and figure out what it was about. The song is written by one of my great musical heroes, a man named Stan Rogers, Canadian folk singer, late great fellow, gone before his time, but in his short life he wrote so many fantastic songs, and he wrote this one. This was probably his most famous song, and it sort of tells a tale that, while not entirely based in truth, is a very, very plausible scenario. It's a song about a privateer ship, and privateers, just a sort of classification given to a type of work that a ship might be given. The opening lines of this song refer to a letter of marque, which in this scenario it's the King of England giving a letter of marque to a ship in Nova Scotia, which basically what it is, this is during the American Revolution, and the idea is that this is a private ship. It's not a ship that belongs to the government or to the Navy, but it is being sort of given full permission and encouragement to sail out into open waters where hostile ships will be, enemy ships, in this case American ships, and essentially to go out and do battle with these ships and loot them, and whatever they take, they get to keep. And the idea is that if these governments would charge private ships, privateers, to do this, then they would be depleting the resources and disrupting the supply lines of their enemies. There are not any accounts of a Canadian or specifically, I think, a Nova Scotian privateer ship doing battle with any American ships during the Revolutionary War, but there were privateers that were enlisted from Nova Scotia during that war. So this is an entirely probable scenario to happen. And the song is called Barrett's Privateers. The chorus gets repeated over and 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 over again. Is God damn them all, I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. Now I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's privateers. The song's called Barrett's Privateers. Oh, the year was 1778. How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. When a letter of marque came from the king to the scummiest vessel I'd ever seen, God damn them all. I was told we cruised the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's privateers. Oh, well, sit Barrett, cried the town. How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. For 20 brave men, no fishermen, who would make for him the Antelope's crew, God damn them all. I was told we cruised the seas for American gold. was a sickening sight. How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. She got a list to report on the sails and rags, and the cooks and the scuppers with the staggers and jags. God damn them all. I was told we cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. I'm a broken man on Halifax pier, the last to bear its privateers. On the King's birthday we put to sea. How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. We were 91 days to Montego Bay, pumping like madmen all the way. Lord damn them all. I was told we cruised the seas for American gold. We fire no guns, shed no tears. I'm a broken man on the Halifax pier, the last to bear its privateers. On the 95th day we sailed again. How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. With a bloody great Yankee hove in sight, with a crack 4-pounders we made to fight. God damn them all. I was told we cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. I'm a broken man on the Halifax pier, the last to bear its privateers. Oh, the Yankee lay low down with gold. How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. She was broad and fat and loose in her stays, but to catch her took the antelope 2 whole days. God damn them all. I was told we cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier, the last to bear its privateers. At length she stood 2 cables away. How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. Our cracked 4-pounders made an awful din, but with one fat ball the Yanks stove us in. God damn them all. I was told we cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier, the last to bear its privateers. Oh, the antelope shook and she pitched on her side. How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. Old Barrett was smashed like a bowl of eggs, and the main truck carried off both my legs. God damn them all. I was told we cruise the seas for American gold. We fire no guns, shed no tears. I'm a broken man on the Halifax pier, the last to bear its privateers. Now here I lay on my 23rd year. How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. It's been 6 years since we sailed away, and I just made Halifax yesterday. God damn them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. We fire no guns, shed no tears. I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier, the last to bear its privateers. God damn them all. I was told we cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier, the last to bear its privateers. Thank you all so much. Oh, household is wondering if you happen to have a sea shanty among your original songs. Let me think. Have I written anything that could be in a shanty territory? Oh, this is testing me. I know I've made attempts, but trying to think of it, I don't really think I sing anything that could be properly classified as a sea shanty. I've always dreamed of adding to the wealth of maritime music to make some sort of substantial contribution. But as far as I can recall, I don't think I've got anything resembling a finished song yet. So we'll put a dot on that. So I appreciate the request, but we will see about that. That's a good little inspiration to keep working on some of the. I swear I must have written a dozen songs, a dozen sea songs, but nothing quite finished yet. So, and generally I find the best songs are all the songs other people have written. Let's do a Ewan McCall song. Here's another modern song. I learned this from the singing of another one of my great musical heroes, Luke Kelly of the Dubliners. But the song is written by Ewan McCall, a song about going out on a net fishing voyage. This song's called the Net Hauling Song. It's busky, me boys, get you up on the decks and take up your stations for hauling the nets. And mind up all together, lads, all through the night, and shaking your oilskins until it's daylight. And we're heaving and hauling and shaking up nets. It's when we're out hauling, we're living on home. The boys on the locker, the lad on the row, the fellas in the hold who are holding the nets and shaking the herring out onto the decks. And we're heaving and hauling and shaking up nets. It's that after net we pulled up from the sea, and a hauling, a shaking, a 1, 2, and 3. A herring or a piling around our sea boots, and slithering and sliding up into the chutes. And we're heaving and hauling and shaking up nets. It's hour after hour we are hauling away, all through the long night till the dawn of the day. The captain's in the wheelhouse, he's on the RT, and the cook's in the galley are brewing the tea. And we're heaving and hauling and shaking up nets. Now the season is over, so be on your way, and head for the home port of sign for your pay. Your missus will be waiting to welcome you home. It's so hard for a wife to be so much alone. And we're heaving and hauling and shaking up nets. And we're heaving and hauling and shaking up nets. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, my friends. A pleasure to be sharing the time with you all today for Sea Shanty Saturday. Once again, my name is Matthew O'Donnell. If you're enjoying yourselves and want to show a little appreciation for what I'm doing here, you can drop a little something in my digital chip jar. I'm on Venmo and Cashapp, matthewomusic. You can also find me on PayPal, paypal.me/matthewomusic. And you can also go to patreon.com/Matthew O'Donnell, become a regular supporter of my music and my work. So that was two more modern sea songs written, so we'll do something nice and traditional now. And this song most likely has its origins in sailing of a different kind of river barges down the rivers of America. Song is called The Hog-Eye Man, and it the reference to a hog-eye is a type of barge that was used to in a few different applications of sailing, but especially barges used to sail up and down rivers in America. And there was a sort of connotation of being someone who sailed on those sorts of barges. It was the sailors are generally thought of as a rough and tumble sort of bunch, but the most rough of the rough were sort of regarded as those who would sail on these barges. And in particular, there was a prejudice of those who went out on long sailing voyages in the ocean toward those who were sailing in the rivers and the barges. And that's a bit of how this song became the prominent sea shanty that it is, because it was sung a lot, almost in a mocking tone, by sailors on aboard ocean voyages, sort of mocking the lower class folks who would be on the river barges. But the story is, I guess, one that most might, depending on how you look at it, it could reflect well on the those bargemen, or it could reflect poorly. It's about a hog-eye man, a fellow who sails on these river barges, stealing away the wife of a well-to-do sea captain while he is away at sea. Here's the hog-eye man. There we go. Alright, now for real, here's the hog-eye man. Oh, the hog-eye sailors all that go when they to St. Francisco with a hog-eye. Railroad navvy with his hog-eye, steady in the jingle with a hog-eye. Oh, she wants the hog-eye man. Sifting sand, she's got a keen eye for a hog-eye man with a hog-eye. Railroad navvy with his hog-eye, steady on the jingle with a hog-eye. Oh, she wants the hog-eye man. He went to the place where Sally did dwell. He knocked on the door and he rung her bell with a hog-eye. Railroad navvy with his hog-eye, steady on the jingle with a hog-eye. Oh, she wants the hog-eye man. So we got slight technical difficulties. Here we go. And it's hand me down my walking cane. I'm up to see my darling Jane with the hog-eye. Railroad navvy with his hog-eye, steady on the jingle with a hog-eye. Oh, she wants the hog-eye man. Oh, who's been here since I've been gone? A railroad navvy with the sea boots on with the hog-eye. Railroad navvy with his hog-eye, steady on the jingle with a hog-eye. Oh, she wants the hog-eye man. Oh, the hog-eye man is the man for me, for he is blind and he cannot see with the hog-eye. Railroad navvy with his hog-eye, steady on the jingle with a hog-eye. Oh, she wants the hog-eye man. With a hog-eye sheet and a hog-eye crew, a hog-eye mate and the skipper too. With a hog-eye, railroad navvy with his hog-eye, steady on the jingle with a hog-eye. Oh, she wants the hog-eye man. Well, the hog-eye man is the man for me, for he is blind and he cannot see with a hog-eye. Railroad navvy with his hog-eye, steady on a jingle with a hog-eye. Oh, she wants the hog-eye man. Thank you very much. Just 1 second here. Gotta. There we go. Oh. Thank you very much. I hope you are enjoying our time together today as much as I am. It's a real pleasure to be sharing some of my favorite sea songs, some traditional sea shanties, and other maritime music with you today. If you have any requests, please let me know. I'd love to play a song or two for you. Let's see, what all on this list have I not played yet? Oh, yes. We got some applause. I like that. Thank you for the applause. I appreciate it. Here's another whaling song. This song's called The Greenland Whale Fisheries. Again, song first documented in, well, I guess closer to the early 1800s, 1830s and 1840s, but it's likely a much older song even still. This is sort of closest I have to a musical Moby Dick. Here's a Greenland Whale Fisheries. And ice and snow, where the cold winds blow, or the frost and snow, and the sun is seldom seen, brave boys, and the sun is seldom seen.
I'm sorry. I just want you to answer her because I don't think you would have texted me unless you know. That's
Oh. Oh, I thought I messaged her back. That's Kim from Miami? Yeah. Yeah, just say yes, like you got your message.
Okay.
Yeah.
cool. Sorry, honey.
Thank you. No, thank you. The business end had to call there. Yeah, which by the way, I'll give you the shameless plug once again. That not only can you show appreciation in the digital tip jar on Venmo and Cashapp and PayPal, then become a patron on Patreon if you're in the Charlottesville, Virginia area and you're interested in hearing some of this music live and in person. I am giving sidewalk concerts, which has been a whole lot of fun, getting to share some music from a safe distance. Folks just, put a blanket on their lawn or bring out some chairs or sit on their porch, and I just stand on the sidewalk, play a few songs, and I'm on my merry way. So if that seems like something you'd enjoy, just send me a private message. I'd love to arrange a little sidewalk concert for you and yours. Oh, that brings me great joy. Thank you, Reese. Appreciates the time I've spent practicing. It has been a ridiculous amount of time, but still not enough for me. I hope that I'll make some progress eventually. Okay, and Dale's asking if Flowers of Bermuda or Witch of Westmoreland. I love both of those songs, but I don't know them well enough to sing them. Flowers of Bermuda has been a song I've been trying to drill into my brain for years and years. It's one of my favorites from Stan, and I just don't have it quite down yet. So hopefully in the near future I'll be able to give you a little Flowers of Bermuda, but I don't have that down quite yet. Alright, let's see what else we got here. Alright, we'll do a classic now. This is a very commonly sung sort of British Navy song. And this is a song, there's lots of variants of it, different versions, but this is sort of the standard version you hear most often. The song is called Spanish Ladies. Farewell and adieu to you Spanish ladies, farewell and adieu, all you ladies of Spain, for we've received orders for to save rural England, but we hope in a short time we'll see you again. We'll rent and we'll roar like true British sailors, we'll rent and we'll roar all on the salt sea, until we strike soundings in the channel of England. From Go Shanty to Sylvie, it's 35 leagues. The first land we sighted was called the Don, and next plained on Plymouth, on Portsmouth the White. We sailed by Beachy, by Fairlight and Dover, and then we roll out on the Southmoreland Light. We'll rent and we'll roar like true British sailors, we'll rent and we'll roar all on the South Sea, until we strike soundings in the channel of England. From Go Shanty to Sylvie, it's 35 leagues. these sea shanties that I never have the opportunity to sing. But when I never have the opportunity to sing them, they fall right out the brain. We hove our ship to on the wind from southwest, boys. We hove our ship to deep soundings to take. 'Twas 45 fathoms to the white sandy bottom, so we squared our main yard and the channel did make. We'll rant and we'll roar like true British sailors. We'll rant and we'll roar all on the South Sea until we strike soundings in the channel of the link. From Ushan to Sydney, it's 35 leagues. And the signal came down for the grand ship to anchor, and all on the downs next night for to lie. Take up your shank painter, take up your cat stopper, haul up your crew garnets, let action seats fly. We'll rant and we'll roar, bloody true British sailors. We'll rant and we'll roar, all on the South Sea, until we strike soundings in the still of old England. From Ushan to Sydney, it's 35 leagues. Then let every man take up his full bunker, and let every man drink up his full glass. We'll drink and be jolly for to drown melancholy, and here's to the health of each true-hearted lass. We'll rant and we'll roar like true British sailors. We'll rant and we'll roar all on the South Sea until we strike soundings in the channel of old England. From Ushan to Sydney, it's 35 leagues. From Ushan to Sydney, it's 35 leagues. Thank you very much. Oh my goodness, Dale! I love your comment. That fills me with joy. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're enjoying the time as much as I am. All right, let's see. I thought I knew what I was going to next. That. Okay, yeah, we'll do some Bonnie Heel and Laddie. There it is. Oh goodness, I'm forgetting how to play this now. Yeah, there's what we're going to be. Was you ever in Quebec, lunch and timber on the deck? Was you ever in Quebec, Bonnie Heel and Laddie? Hey, hey, you so much. Got a few more for you. I always give an ending time. I think I said the end of this was 3 o'clock, but we got lots of people here. I'm gonna keep on playing a few more songs for you if that's all right by you. Oh, I'm got a link here. Can't quite see what the song is. Let's see if we can open it here. I'm not familiar with that tune. There's always another song. I'll add it to my sprawling list. Don't worry, I don't get to the list in order. It's songs I've had on there for years, and then I'll hear a song and get it learned in a week. I never can quite predict how it's all going to shake out. The night I came into Liverpool, I went upon a spree. My money, alas, I spent it fast, got drunk as drunk could be. And when the money was all gone, was then I wanted more. But a man must be bluffing to make up his mind to go to sea once more. Once more, boys, once more. Go to sea once more. But a man must be blind to make up his mind to go to sea once more. I spent the night with Angeline, too drunk to roll in bed. My watch was new and my money too. In the morning with them she fled. And as I wandered the streets about, the girls they all did roar. There goes Jack Sprat, the poor sailor lad, he must go to sea once more. Once more, boys, once more. Go to sea once more. There goes Jack Sprat, the poor sailor lad, he must go to sea once more. And as I walked the streets about, I met with a robber brow. I asked him if he'd take me on, but he looked at me with a frown. He says, the last time you was paid off, with me you could not score. But I'll give you a chance, and I'll take your advance, and I'll send you to sea once more. Once more, boys, once more. Send you to sea once more. And I'll give you a chance, and I'll take your advance, and I'll send you to sea once more. I'd sold it for money on shore. It was then that I wished that I was dead and could go to sea no more. No more, boys, no more. Go to sea no more. Was then I wished that I was dead and could go to sea no more. So all ye bold seafaring lads, a warning take from me. Oh, take that. Oh, come all ye seafaring lads who listen to my song. Before you go off them long trips, I'll have you not go wrong. Take my advice, drink no strong drink, don't sleep with the girls no more. Get married instead, spend all night in bed, and go to sea no more. No more, boys, no more. Go to sea no more. Get married instead and spend all night in bed, and go to sea no more. No more, boys, no more. Go to sea no more. Get married instead and spend all night in bed, and go to sea no more. Well, that was a traditional song called, it's very variably called Go to Sea Once More or Go to Sea No More. And here's another song with the exact same title, but written at a very different time. The song was composed by members of the Canadian folk group The Irish Descendants in the early 1990s. I believe the album this song was first released on in 1992. I feel very fortunate to have happened upon it because it's become one of my favorite songs to sing. To my knowledge, I haven't heard anybody who's done a version of it other than the Irish Descendants themselves, so I'm setting about to change that. I have an album coming out this spring called Haven't You Heard, and this song is featured on that album. If you happen to drop a tip in my virtual tip jar of $12 or more in Venmo, Cashapp, matthewomusic, or at paypal.me/matthewomusic, or if you become a patron on Patreon at patreon.com/MatthewO'Donnell. If you give me a tip anywhere there, if you pay me $12 or more and include your email, I will consider that a pre-order for a digital download copy of Haven't You Heard coming out this spring. So if you enjoyed this song and want to hear other songs that I'm making recordings of, you can pre-order that album, and I look forward so much to sharing that music with you all. I've been working hard on it, and it'll be out soon. So this song, as said by the Irish Descendants, is called Go to Sea No More, but it's an entirely different song. It's another day we go, sailing o'er the blue. I could change the course of time, I'd live in my own land. My thoughts are always with you. Have you changed since I've gone? How I long to see you. The time has been so long. If I could get just one more chance to walk your rugged shore, I'd trade the life I chose to make and go to sea no more. Last night as I lay dreaming, I sailed the raging foam. A ship she took me far away to the rocky shores of home. And I could write 1,000 lines to say just how I feel. I hope and pray that some fine day my dreams they can be real. My thoughts are always with you. Have you changed since I've been gone? How I long to see you. The time has been so long. If I could get just one more chance to walk your rugged shore, I'd trade the life I chose to make and go to sea no more. It's another day we go, sailing o'er the blue. I look to the horizon, my thoughts drift home to you. A young man, only 17, adventure couldn't wait. Set sail from home on a fishing ship bound for the Boston State. My thoughts are always with you. Have you changed since I've gone? How I long to see you. The time has been so long. If I could get just one more chance to walk your rugged shore, I'd trade the life I chose to make and go to sea no more. My thoughts are always with you. Have you changed since I've been gone? How I long to see you. The time has been so long. If I could get just one more chance to walk your rugged shore, I'd trade the life I chose to make and go to sea no more. I'd trade the life I chose to make and go to sea no more. Trade the life I chose to make and go to sea no more. Oh, thank you very much. What a pleasure it is to share this time together. I got a few more for you. I don't want to overstay my welcome, but I also have some songs I was just itching to sing today and want to make sure I get to most of them. I'm going to sing a song now composed by Jim Payne. It's a singer in St. John's, Newfoundland. The song is called Wave Over Wave. distant schooner from Twillingate Isle. And in the world over, north, south, east, and west, for the middle of nowhere's where my likes it best. Where it's a wave over wave, sea over bow, I'm as happy a man as the sea will allow. There's no other life for a sailor like me than to sail the salt sea, boys, sail the sea. There's no other life but to sail the salt sea. I leave my life lonely 10 months of the year, for she built me a home and raised my children dear. She'd never come out to bid farewell to me, nor yet boy a sailor must sail the salt sea. Where it's a wave over wave, sea over bow, I'm as happy a man as the sea will allow. There's no other life for a sailor like me than to sail the salt sea, boys, sail the sea. There's no other life but to sail the salt sea. The work it is hard and the hours are long, but my spirit is willing, my back it is strong. And when the work's over, the whiskey will pour, we'll dance with the girls upon some foreign shore. Where it's a wave over wave, sea over bow, I'm as happy a man as the sea will allow. There's no other life for a sailor like me than to sail the salt sea, boys, sail the sea. There's no other life but to sail the salt sea. I've sailed the world over for decades or more, and oft times I wonder what I do it for. I don't know the answer, is pleasure and pain, but with life to live over, I do it again. Where it's a wave over wave, sea over bow, I'm as happy a man as the sea will allow. There's no other life for a sailor like me to sail the salt sea, boys, sail the sea. Where it's a wave over wave, sea over bow, I'm as happy a man as the sea will allow. There's no other life for a sailor like me to sail the salt sea, boys, sail the sea. There's no other life but to sail the salt sea. Thank you very much. I got about 3 more for you, I think. I mentioned before that you can a lot of times date traditional songs approximately by how many different versions you find and how many different traditions the songs find their way into. And that's one of the ways you know this is a very, very old song, because almost every country, and like with almost every coastal country in Western Europe, has a version of this song. It is one of the oldest English language songs, sort of documented in its modern form with music and lyrics. It is one of sort of the foundational English language folk songs. This is a song that tells a story about a ship that is being pursued by an enemy, and a brave resident of that ship, a brave crewman, a young cabin boy, who volunteers to jump into the ocean and to sink the enemy ship. And the captain agrees and promises this boy great riches and great rewards if he will do this brave act. But ultimately, it's a story of betrayal as the captain winds up double-crossing the boy. I'm going to see if I can remember that one verse here. If I go... Yeah, I was thinking about singing a modified version that I haven't done before, but I'm going to stick with the version I know well. The song is called The Golden Vanity. Ship, she sails across the sea. The name of that ship, it was the Golden Vanity. She feared she wouldn't be taken by a Spanish enemy. As she sails upon the low land, low, she sails upon the lowland sea. Stepped a cabin boy, just the age of 12 and 3. He called to the skipper, now what would you give to me if I swam alongside of that Spanish enemy and sunk her in the lowland, low, sunk her in the lowland sea. Of my storehouse, if you would be so bold to swim alongside of that Spanish enemy and sink her in the lowland, low, sink her in the lowland sea. So the cabin boy made ready, by a Spanish enemy. He sails upon the lowland, lowland, low. She sails upon the lowland sea. As she sails upon the lowland, lowland, low. She sails upon the lowland sea. As she sails upon the lowland, lowland, low. She sails upon the lowland sea. Thank you so much. Oh, you know what? We'll actually do a little, This is Sea Shanty Saturday, and it's been a while since we've done a proper, to the letter actual sea shanty in the proper sense. So I'll sing another good and proper traditional shanty. And as I mentioned before, early in our time together, the distinction of a sea song or a sea shanty is really that shanties specifically refer to songs that were used to coordinate specific types of work aboard a sailing vessel. Sailors sang many songs to each other to pass the time. They'd write songs and share songs, and those are very important traditional songs, but they are not, in the technical sense, a sea shanty. So we've been sharing lots of sea songs and haven't touched on the proper traditional sea shanty in a few songs. So here's one called Sally Brown. That's what I'm doing now. A ship on board of a Liverpool liner, way, hail and go, and we rolled all night and we rolled all day to spend my money on Sally Brown. Sally Brown is a nice young lady, way, hail and go, and we rolled all night and we rolled all day to spend my money on Sally Brown. She's tall and dark and not too shady, way, hail and go, and we rolled all night and we rolled all day to spend my money on Sally Brown. She drinks brown rum and she chews tobacco, way, hail and go, and we rolled all night and we rolled all day to spend my money on Sally Brown. Her mother doesn't like no tarry sailor, way, hail and go, and we roll all night and we roll all day to spend my money on Sally Brown. But her mother doesn't like no tarry sailor, way, hail and go, and we rolled all night and we rolled all day to spend my money on Sally Brown. Glenn Suter, I'm not sure I know the story of Sally Brown exactly. I'm not sure what you're referring to, so please enlighten me, and I'll be a little bit smarter next time. She once heard a marry a one-legged captain, way, hail and go, and we rolled all night and we rolled all day to spend my money on Sally Brown. Sally wouldn't wed me, so I went across the water. Sally Brown. And we roll all night and we roll all day to spend my money on Sally Brown. And we roll all night and we roll all day to spend my money on Sally Brown. Oh, thank you. I appreciate the little bit of enlightenment. Oh, goodness. The name is escaping me, so I need to use the friendly interwebs to learn it. Because I want to make sure I'm giving credit where credit is due when I'm singing a song that was written by someone else. There it is. Alright, so I'm going to sing you probably the song that first got me interested in maritime music and sea songs. A lot of my early exposure to any sort of traditional folk music was the Dubliners. And this is a song that I heard a recording of Barney McKenna singing when I was, you know, probably 11 or 12. I first heard it, and I was just so incredibly taken with the song. And come to find out, for a long time I thought it was a traditional sea song, but it was actually written by a fellow named John Connolly. But it is one of my absolute favorite songs to sing. The song is called Fiddler's Green. As I walked by the dockside one evening so fair, to view the salt water and take the salt air, I heard an old fisherman singing a song. Oh, take me away, boys, my time is not long. Wrap me up in the oilskins and jumpers, no more on the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me, old shipmates, I'm taking a trip, mates, and I'll see you someday on Fiddler's Green. Fiddler's Green is a place I've heard tell, where the fishermen go if they don't go to hell, where the skies are all clear and the dolphin do play, and the cold coasts of Greenland are far, far away. Wrap me up in the oilskins and jumpers, no more on the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me, old shipmates, I'm taking a trip, mates, I'll see you someday on Fiddler's Green. The skies are all clear and there's never a gale, and the fish jump aboard with one swish of their tail. Where you lie at your leisure, there's no work to do, and the skipper's down below making tea for the crew. Wrap me up in the oilskins and jumpers, no more on the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me, old shipmates, I'm taking a trip, mates, I'll see you someday on Fiddler's Green. Just give me the breeze and the good rolling sea. I'll play the old squeeze box as we sail along, with the wind and the rigging to sing me a song. Wrap me up in the old skins and jumpers, no more of the docks I'll be seen. Just tell the old shipmates I'm taking a trip, mates. I'll see you someday on Fiddler's Green. Wrap me up in the old skins and jumpers, no more on the docks I'll be seen. Just tell the old shipmates I'm taking a trip, mates. I'll see you someday on Fiddler's Green. I'll see you someday on Fiddler's Green. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, friends, I want to tell you what an absolute pleasure it has been getting to share some of this wonderful music with you all today, sharing these traditional sea shanties, sea songs, and some modern maritime ballads we've sang today. I hope you have enjoyed our time together half as much as I have. And I'm going to sing you one last song now to say farewell. I am certain that we will be doing more specifically sea shanty themed live streams, because I barely made a dent in the list of songs I wrote down to sing. And I'm doing 2 or 3 of these live streams every week, so stay tuned for the next one. I'm trying to add some themes and some different fun things for us to enjoy as we get to share some time together when we're not physically together, but are able to gather in this different sort of way. It really is a pleasure to share the time with you. Every time I do one of these live streams, I just look forward to it more and more, and it feels more like getting to spend some time with good old friends and with new friends as well. I'm going to say farewell now with one last traditional sea shanty. This is a song that is a pumping shanty used to pump the bilge water that came in from leaks in the ship back out of the ship. And traditionally, this song would usually be sung only on the final pump of the ship, as the voyage was nearing its end. It's another one of my favorite songs to sing. I hope if you know the words, that wherever you are, you sing along with me. And once again, thanks for sharing this time with me. It's been a pleasure to enjoy it with you. If you want to show some appreciation, my digital tip jar is open. Venmo and Cashapp, matthewomusic, and paypal.me/matthewomusic. And you can also become a patron on Patreon and give a regular contribution to the work that I'm doing, to the music I'm putting out in the world. That's at patreon.com/MatthewO'Donnell. So I'll sing you this final song now, Leave Her Johnny. Thanks so much for enjoying a little fun on Sea Shanty Saturday. I thought I heard the old man say, leave her, Johnny, leave her. It's a long, hard pull to the next payday, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, the voyage is done and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her. it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is done and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is done and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her. Thank you all so very much. Thank you, my friends. What a pleasure it's been to share this time. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. If you want to show some appreciation, my digital tip jar is always open. Venmo and Cashapp, matthewomusic, and paypal.me/matthewomusic. And you could become a patron on Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/MatthewO'Donnell. I do look forward to sharing some more music with you. I'll be doing another live stream in a few days, so keep your eye out for that. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope that whether or not we're singing, you still keep the spirit and that it continues to be Sea Shanty Saturday. You all have a good day now.